Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is doing well. This is Coach Cookie, your life and relationship coach. If this is your first time listening in, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like what you hear, please give the podcast a like, comment, and don't forget to share with friends and family. To my regular listeners, welcome back, and I want you to know that you're greatly appreciated. Here at Rising Higher, I'm going to give you some snippets for life to not only help you to survive, but to help you thrive. So, for the month of June, I'm sure everybody has heard by now, I'm taking a break from doing my entire podcast show, and I decided to focus on some questions that you may have, or simply just take time to provide words of encouragement to keep you motivated during your healing journey. So, with that being said, today on Rising Higher, I have a question from Cece who asked, "Hey, Coach Cookie, I have recently joined a new church and I love it there. But to be honest, I'm scared. The last time I was in a church, there were people in the community that I allowed to create devastation in my family. Now there's this female in the church that has this similar narcissistic spirit, and my red flags are going off everywhere. I don't want to seem stuck up and not welcoming, but I want to protect myself and my family. How should I maneuver this situation?" Okay, this is a really good question. And before I get into really answering the question, I want everyone to understand and know that when you are dealing with the female narcissist in the church, it is the same spirit as Jezebel. So, what we're really dealing with is Jezebel. Okay, and we're going to go over those the details of Jezebel at another time, but you will see more of what I'm talking about as I answer this question. You'll see that more clearly as I start to answer this question. Okay, now Cece, more than likely, your pastor or another leader in the church has noticed your spiritual potential, your talents, and it's time to put your gifts to work. Now, let me be honest with you. This is what's probably happened in your old church too. So when people recognize that gift, Jezebel is the first one that's going to see, "Oh, okay, let me try to shut her down so she can't do what God called her to do." So be careful. Okay? More than likely you've been recognized in the church and you've been given a special attention and responsibilities. And let me guess, everyone loves you, girl. They love you. They love your family. And believe it or not, Jezebel is jealous of you and mad that you're getting all this attention that she should be getting. So she feels threatened by you. Not only threatened by you getting the attention, but she's threatened by your calling because it's going to knock her out from what she really is there to do. Okay? Follow me now. More than likely, you have a special calling on your life that more than likely has something to do with deliverance, spiritual warfare, or bringing more people to Christ. Of course, this is the calling of a prophet. Is everybody following me now? Because Jezebel will be the first one to step up that for anybody that has a calling of a prophet. She hates prophets. Okay, how do I know this? Let me break it down like this. She slaughtered the Lord's prophets, and she threatened to kill the prophet Elijah, and she murdered anyone who protested the worship of Baal. I think you got the idea. So you more than likely are in the beginning stages of accepting your calling, or you are running from what God wants you to do. Remember, this spirit of Jezebel looks for those who are hurt, wounded, insecure, and emotionally unstable, so they can manipulate and dominate you in an attempt to destroy you so you won't be able to do God's work because they know what you should be doing. And that threatens their kingdom. That threatens Jezebel's kingdom with all her demons. So she gonna try to get in and destroy you any way that she can. Now, not only do they want to destroy you, but they want to destroy your marriage and they want to destroy the church. Anything that has to do with leadership or anything that has to do with making Christ stronger, here comes Jezebel. Here comes Jezebel. So in your marriage, she going for your husband. In the church, she's shooting for the prophets and the pastors, the big time. She's not going for the little folk. She ain't got time for that. She wanted the ringleaders. The only reason this spirit keeps coming back is because you are emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in the place where God wants you to be. So you're not in that place that God wants you to be. Jezebel can pick up, she can pick up on that. So until you build up yourself spiritually, this Jezebel spirit will come by and try to entertain you and your family. Let me say that one more time. Until you build yourself up spiritually, this Jezebel spirit will come by and try to entertain you and your family. And when I'm saying family, I'm talking about your husband, you know. Okay, now, don't get me wrong, the enemy will stop by and pop up every now and then, but when you spiritually are stable, there's no fear. The fear is gone. Your attitude will be like, I don't give a rat's ass about Jezebel or her demons. This is when you know that you've been praying and fasting because the problems will always be there, but you won't be afraid of them and you'll know how to deal with them. When this happens, that spirit will think twice before trying to step to you. Okay, so now that we have a really good idea of why you keep attracting this Jezebel spirit, let's talk about how you can identify the spirit. When your red flags start going off and something is telling you that in the spirit, something is not right. Now, until you get in the place where you need to be at spiritually, these are just going to be some quick tests. Some tests that you can do to see if it's a Jezebel spirit is start talking about spiritual warfare or prophets. If this person has a Jezebel spirit, they will well up with anger and disgust and try to change the topic. And then when they try to change the topic, you stare at them and just say, bye, girl, and walk away. Another thing to look out for is that this Jezebel spirit hates any form of prayer to the Lord. So she hates it so much because our prayer life with the Lord is what keeps us in the center of his perfect will for our lives. So she loves to show up and attack prayer groups of any kind so she can prevent people from staying close to the Lord in their personal relationship with him. Be aware because this is going to be her party spot in the church. During Bible study, she's looking so she can start drama and keep confusion with individuals in leadership roles, such as with pastors, husbands, prophets. This demonic influence will come across as being holier than thou. She'll look like she's praying and she'll give fake prophecies. She's very competitive, though. She's going to stick out because she's going to be very competitive and she has to be the best in everything. She doesn't want to do anything, she doesn't want to do any work that requires humility and being a servant like Christ like. She's not going to want to do anything that's Christ like. This spirit loves to be in charge, self-seeking, is dominating, and will never take no for an answer. So that person that's loud and want to be seen and just want to do it, watch out. Investigate that a little bit closer. Okay. Now that we've talked about a few characteristics of Jezebel, let me answer your question so you will know how to protect you and your family. Let's get to that part. Listen to me very carefully. If you think this individual may have this narcissistic Jezebel spirit, there's a good chance that there's others in the church too. And you may not know it, but this person may be coming up to you just to get information for someone else and their partners. They're working together. So they're going to be the narcissist helpers or the flying monkeys that they're called. So be careful of your conversation that you may have with other members of the church. So in the beginning, when you're dealing with people that you question may have this narcissistic Jezebel personality trait, you want to always appear to be confident, be calm. Your conversations need to be completely meaningless topics with no emotional connection. Remember, the emotional connection is very important. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But your conversation has to be meaningless. Talk about something like the weather or the grass outside, something like that. Don't tell them anything about your personal life because they're going to be looking for something to use against you to hurt you with later. Don't tell them nothing about your husband. Don't tell them about how y'all went out. Don't tell them nothing. The easiest way to think of this is like you're discussing a business transaction. Remember, your goal is to shut them down with short, detached statements like no or no, thank you. Sorry, I'm not available. Sorry, I can't do that. Or I'm not interested. Thank you. And then complete silence. Don't say another word and give them that stare like, girl, who are you? The point being is no is a full sentence. Now, this is going to be the biggest test that you can do in the very beginning to tell if you're really dealing with that narcissistic Jezebel spirit, because a female narcissist or Jezebel, because they can't deal with anyone telling them no for an answer. Females always they have this strong inflated sense of self to be right all the time. They don't understand negotiating. They only understand manipulating. And that's that spirit. So when they try and make a comment about you saying no, you come back with, I understand, or I hear you, girl, or I'll let you know, or I'll get back with you. Let me think about it. That's fine with me. I don't care. Or, yeah, that's not going to happen. Followed by complete silence. You not remember, don't have a conversation. Just make these short little statements and then complete silence. And let it be aware, let it be known with that complete silence and give them that stare. Remember, silence is so powerful. It's much more powerful than anything that we can say. And it would make them feel more uncomfortable than you can imagine. Why? Because they're used to feeding off of everyone's emotions and what they say. And they're going to respond off of what you say and your emotion. Okay? Remember, this spirit is an empty shell, and they are depending on you to tell them everything that they need to know about you so they can mirror back what they think that you want in a friend. But when your information is limited, they can't handle that because they don't have an identity of their own. And they will walk away because they will feel embarrassed and won't know what to say or what to do. This is exactly where you want them to be at, CC. So you can make them feel like they're wasting their time because you're not giving away any of your power. If this person truly has that narcissistic Jezebel spirit, watch their reaction and watch them become completely unraveled when they realize that they are fully and entirely powerless over you. Remember, CC, to pray, work on yourself daily. You can do this one day at a time, step by step. Pray to the Lord to give you strength to know how to deal with this. I believe in you, girl. You got this. Remember, I'm here for each and every one of you. So what I want to be able to do is bring content that meets your needs. So if you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, or if you have a topic that you would like for me to do a video on, please let me know. Anyone that needs one-on-one coaching, please hit me up at heycoachcookie at gmail.com. Again, that's heycoachcookie at gmail.com. This is Coach Cookie sending all my pastors, my ministers, and my prophets a big hug and reminding you to love yourself first as we rise higher together. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.